Nate Freeland is the hot shop manager at Neusole Glassworks in Cincinnati, where anyone can produce custom glass art, regardless of skill level.
The type of glass blowing that I specialize in is furnace work or offhand glass blowing. So basically we start with a fresh ball of molten glass on the end of a blowpipe or a solid rod that we can transform into many different forms. We can add colors, we can add designs. Actually, the possibilities are probably limitless in what we can do. We're just limited to our skill sets, and we're limited to the equipment and tools that we have on hand. I got started in glass blowing in college. I got interested in glass blowing as a teenager. Saw it on public television. Found a university that taught glass blowing and moved to Cincinnati. It's unlike any other art form, and it's not something that you can just start a piece, put it down, go to lunch, come back. You kind of have to get everything you need to get done within that one setting, done within that one setting. Not to say you can't revisit pieces later under certain techniques, but really the idea of getting that one shot at it. That one shot, I like it. Glass has its own fluidity, its own motion. And one of the biggest misconceptions with glass is that it's kind of a testosterone-driven event. You need to be strong, you need to be manly. When in fact, if you get the glass at the right heat, it's a finesse game, and it can almost turn into a very almost poetic dance with the glass. And you see someone just the motion of that glass swinging around as they're making their move. You have to have a lot of finesse to handle this material. You can't really let it control you. Oftentimes, the glass will control you, and you need to take charge and control that glass. Glass has been dated back, they've found examples of it in ancient Egypt, Mesopotamia. Became kind of a lost art form. And while the bulk of everything that was being made historically had some sort of a function to it, we saw glass, late 19th, early 20th century, and there was a lot of manufacturing. And it wasn't until the 60s or 70s, right here in Ohio, that the studio glass movement started, and it was just an experimental thing. Started in a garage. Some of the things that I really like to incorporate into production work or any of my own everyday work is just old Venetian techniques that had been kept secret for hundreds and hundreds of years, and somebody leaked the secrets, and these United States artists are picking up on it and really capitalizing on these techniques and kind of tweaking them and making them their own. But when we deal with color, we often have to consider the light source in which this is going to be viewed under. That is possible to make something that doesn't resemble glass, that you don't have to be concerned about light. Something I'm attracted to is how the light reflects, refracts, penetrates, shines back through pieces, can reflect these colors onto walls, onto surfaces. I find that a very dynamic and a very appealing aspect to glass. It's an art form unlike any other, and there's a very calculated process to making your pieces, and each piece is different. It's a surprise to a lot of people. It's a surprise to a lot of people about what really goes into making a piece of glass. The bulk of our business here at Neusole is community education. So we teach workshops 7 days a week. And the process is allowing as much hands-on possible to that client. We want to make them feel like they get the most out of their money. So we do offer them a chance to hold those blowpipes, to walk around and feel that pipe in their hand with liquid glass on the end. It's a team effort, even when we get into the production of pieces. Glass blowing is not a solo sport. You need people around you that you trust. You need people around you that you trust their skill sets. I never make anything with less than one assistant. Very rarely will I work solo. And I've worked on production teams of 10 plus people to make a piece. The most satisfying thing people take away from me is when they see the price of the glass and wow, why does that cost so much? And then they do it. And they realize this isn't 4 cups for $4 from the superstore. This isn't machine-made glass, and that there is a craft behind it. There's definitely a craft, definitely a skill set that it takes to achieve a final product.